Hey bestie, and welcome to my channel. This is the week of love. Valentine's is this Wednesday. I wanted to really challenge myself and read only contemporary romance for a week. So usually I'm into more, like I usually read more fantasy, especially romantasy. I love fantasy with romance, even fantasy without like a little subplot of romance. Like I'm not into like heavy romance sometimes and like smut. I don't know, it's just like that's not my cup of tea. But I mean, I enjoy other people's reviews on the books, but it's just not for me, I came to realize. But this week I definitely want to read more contemporary romance. My goal is to read at least 3 contemporary romance books. I've chosen 3. I feel like I have a 4th right now, but I feel like 4 books is kind of too much, especially I'm a mom, so I don't have all the time in the world to read, but I am going to make it a goal of mine to finish 3 books in 7 days. Today is currently Monday, February 12th, and it's 6 o'clock. I feel like I started this too late, but you know, we're gonna power through. First book I chose is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I felt like I wanted to go into this challenge with a bit of a strategy. This book is only 250 pages. I feel like going with a short book will set me up better to finish the other books. I noticed that a lot of romances run about 400 pages, and I'm like, why? I don't know. Like it makes sense for a fantasy. It makes sense for fantasy, but sometimes I'm like, romance, I'm like, why is it so long? Especially those thick romance books. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. But this is gonna be the first book for the challenge. I wanted to check out Olivia Blake's work, and I've had this since last summer. Like, I don't know why, I just never read it. I don't know, but we are going to make it a challenge to finish this book. I'm going to try to get a good chunk of it today. That way I can finish hopefully by tomorrow. That is my goal. So let's get on with the video. Wednesday, February 14th. I'm still in the middle of Alone with You in the Ether. I think I'm about 160 pages in. I realize I'm reading slow. I might be in a little bit of a slump, but it's okay. I realized that I've been listening as well. While I'm reading the book physically, I'm also listening to the audiobook on Spotify, and that has been helping me a lot because I realized, I think just for the past couple days, I've been busy with mom duties. That's really honest, and I feel like once I feel like I have time for myself, it gets dark, and I've just been listening to the book on audio in the early mornings and afternoons, and I realized I thought I had more time and I don't. So I'm gonna try to power through this. I think I only have like just 100 pages left. That's all I have. Gonna see if I can get through this. So far it's okay. I feel like I don't want to give it an early rating just yet because I feel like I'm not there just yet. When I first purchased this book, I thought it was more of like a contemporary romance, but really it's a literary fiction. So I feel like these characters, which are Reagan and Aldo, are very much relatable in like everyday life, everyday love. so far is about like two individuals that are falling in love with each other, but is like falling in love with each other no matter their flaws, their issues. So I feel like that is a really good perspective on this. It was weird at first. I was like, what is happening? Like I wasn't feeling the characters. Like that's how I felt, but I'm still gonna continue on, see how it's gonna go. I thought it was so cool because the male character, his name is Ronaldo. His like nickname, or the name he goes by, is Aldo, and he's half Italian, half Dominican. And I was like, oh, Dominican! I'm a Dominican. So I don't see a lot of Dominican like in the stories I read. There's not a lot of Dominican representation, so I really like that. So I was like, ooh, so I thought that was cool. So we're gonna try to finish this. I want to finish it by today. I really want to, because I want to move on to our next book, which I feel like I'm still haven't chosen. I thought I did, but I feel like there's another book that is catching my eye, so we'll see. But we're gonna try to get through this today. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, and I wanted to share some thoughts. I feel like I was in a bit of a reading slump because it took me way longer to finish than I intended to. As well, I just couldn't get through the book like reading it. I think it's just because I was like so busy and I didn't have much time, but I listened to the audiobook and that helped me tremendously. And I did like the way the narrator how the narrator narrated the story, so I thought that was good. But my honest review is a 3.5. Alone with You in the Ether is basically like a literary fiction romance where we're following our two main characters, Aldo and Reagan, which Aldo is considered like a genius, very mathematician, because he's a mathematician, he's a TA at, I want to say it was the University of Chicago. And he is very straight to the point, not very social. He likes things to the T, he follows a routine. While Reagan, she's very, I want to say she's very spontaneous. She is very like social. She deals with also bipolar disorder. So she kind of gets very impulsive about certain things. But they meet each other at the Arts Institute where Reagan works. And I don't know, they just hit it off. I guess like she just saw him and they hit it off, and they thought, well, let's have 6 conversations with each other, and if we want to continue, then we'll continue, and if not, then that's it. Like at first I was like, why 6 conversations? But well, I guess I think it is. I can see why a lot of people relate to it, because this is like a lot of what a lot of people go through. And I did like her I did like Olivia Blake's perspective on writing this book on real life, like romance that really happens, that you'll fall in love with somebody and just accept their flaws, like you'll work with them no matter how, like the issues you guys have, you'll work with each other and like just make it work. And I thought that was really beautiful. I really liked the love story, but I just felt like I couldn't relate to it much. I was getting irritated by the characters. And I don't know, I think it's just like, it wasn't for me. I think it's because I'm not really that much of a romance reader, so maybe. But I do think that this story has very well character development. And I'm not saying like for anybody to not check it out. I would definitely check it out. It's just, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I should have chosen a different book to start out to go back into romance. But those are just my honest thoughts. But yeah, I will definitely still check out more of Olivia Blake's work, because I noticed that this is one of her, I may be wrong, but lately with the last couple books that she's come out with is more fantasy, and this is like one of her earlier like books that she wrote that is romance. So maybe I will definitely check out her other work. Now on to the next book. I feel like I'm stuck on 2 books. So I initially wanted to choose Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This has been on my TBR for the longest. And I thought it was very cute. It's friends to lovers, like childhood friends to lovers. That's the type of trope. I know that's another thing with romance. They're very tropey. And I feel like it gives it away, but you know, we're just gonna roll with it. And I may choose this, but then I just purchased If Only I Had Told Her. I had also purchased If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nowlin. I read the first book, I loved it, and I was like maybe, but then I started reading both books at the same time earlier, because I was like, let me read the first chapter to see which one I would just continue. And I think I would just put this down for now and continue with Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. It's very popular. I see a bunch of booktubers that I watch have read it, TikTok read it. So we're gonna check this out, and yeah, I think it's so cute, and I love the cover. I love the illustrations. So cute. Just like 20 pages in, like it's not much, but they just met. Elliot and Macy is like the two main characters, and tell me how she's buying this house, and Elliot was in the closet just reading, and he was saying that he won't be in there like when they buy it, like if they buy the house he won't just go in there and read. And well, this is what he says: if we buy this house, Macy said, if we buy this house, you can come over and read if you want. And then he says, maybe all this time I was just getting it warmed up to you. I don't know why. It's like 13-year-olds. Young love, puppy love. I love it. That's so cute. I believe it's been a couple days since I updated you on my reading this week. I'm still in Love in Other Words. Tell me how I thought I was gonna finish it yesterday, but I've been reading so slow. I think I only have 50 pages left, so I'm going to finish it today, no doubt about it. I can see why a lot of people like it. It's really cute. I like how both characters are like, they met when they were younger and they would be into books, reading together. I thought that was so cute. Right now it's like I'm towards the end where I'm finally finding out why they fell out. I feel like I've been through a roller coaster because I'm like, why? What made them fall out? Like, what is it? And yeah, I'm gonna find out soon, hopefully. But I think it's really cute. I feel like my favorite part about this book with our characters Elliot and Macy, that they shared their love of books when they were younger, and it was a way for Macy to kind of have a friend to talk about because her mom died 3 years prior. And 3 years prior to when Elliot and Macy met, and I thought, oh, so that was really cute. And I will tell you my thoughts once I finish, because I'm almost done. I'm so mad at myself for reading slow, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm reading 2 books this week. I felt like that's an accomplishment, because usually I can just do 1 book a week, but 2 books? I was hoping to do 3, but 2 books is good enough. finished Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Now, this book, I can see why a lot of people like it. It's very cute. I love the love story between Elliot and Macy. However, my final review is 4 stars. I was gonna give it a 3 stars, not gonna lie. I was like, this is not for me, because I felt like maybe it was more of like a slow burn for me, but then I was feeling like we weren't getting to why Macy kind of had a fallout with Elliot. So we're following in the point of view of Macy. She moves to, I want to say it's Berkeley. She moves into this house with her dad. Her mother passed away 3 years prior. So she moves in, and there's this family. Elliot's family lives next door with his 3 brothers, 2 parents, and Elliot and her form a bond over reading, because when she moves into the house, well, when she goes to an open house for this home, she finds Elliot in the closet reading, and it finds out because at his house his brothers cause such a ruckus, he just goes to the house to read, to just be by himself. So, and from then on, she's like, you can just come over and we can just read. So they spend their summers there reading together in the closet, and over time they grow a bond into love. Until one day, I guess they have a fallout, and we are following Macy kind of through her life when she turns 29. The fallout happened when she was 18, so it's like we have a dual timeline, whereas from like present time, and then one time is 11 years ago kind of thing. So dual timeline, kind of following her story on her love life with her current love life. Then she meets back up. She rekindles her friendship with Elliot, which finds out that Elliot still was in love with her the whole time. He's never fallen out of love with her, and we don't find out until the end on why they had a fallout. And at first I was like, what's taking so long? Like, why did they have a fallout? I want to know. And I was really gonna walk away with this book, and I was like, this is a 3 star. Like, I'm not really liking this. Like, this romance is not for me. But then when we finally find out why they fell out, what happened to her at the end, I wanted to just like, I felt so bad for Macy. I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Now I see why a lot of people like this book. But I mean, it's okay. I had okay time with this. So yeah, so in the end, Love in Other Words, 4 stars for me. And then earlier this week I read Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. That was 3 stars. No, actually I think I'm bumping up like 3.5 stars. I feel like this is 3.5 stars. That was my week. I think I'm just gonna end up in just 2 books. I was hoping to read more, but reading 2 books, I feel like that is really good for me. But yeah, that's all the books that I read this week. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe. Stay a while. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Stay a while, and I'll see you next time, bestie.